Welcome back to day 23 of the 30-day coding challenge. Today we're going to be building this tip calculator. If you're new here, hi, my name's Zoe. I'm a software engineer and former university professor who loves teaching folks how to code. If you're interested in starting a career in front-end development, check out that first link in the description below for more information about our affordable bootcamp. But without further ado, let's hop into day 23 of the challenge. Alright, so here is the tip calculator that we're going to be building. Pretty straightforward. It takes in the amount of your bill. It allows you to select a tip of 10, 15, or 25%. And you can customize these numbers to be whatever you want. And then it allows you to divide it by the number of people. So it's not just a tip calculator. It's also a bit of a bill splitter. So it's a dual purpose option here. So let's go ahead and build this out. I want to focus on the logic of this and then focus on the stylings. So I've gone ahead and started up the app already. You can find the design for this. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple design, but if you want to use the assets that are provided, you can grab the link down below. It's from Frontend Mentor, as it's one of their free designs. And then I'm also using the Material UI, Next.js, and TypeScript starter app that I've created. Again, link down in the description below. So when you start up, it's going to be plain and simple like this. What I'm going to do is clear out the sort of native styles that I've put in here, the reset styles that I've put in, and start from scratch essentially. So with the tip calculator, I think I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder for all the new components we're going to need. I'm going to try and do it probably in one or two components. So I'm going to say tip calculator, there we go, and see if I can get it done in maybe one component. We'll see. All right, so we're going to take the bill, we're going to choose the tip, and then we're going to divide by the number of people. So let's see if we can get that done. It's going to probably be a client component. What I'm thinking is we say const total bill, set total bill. We'll say use state. We'll start with 0. I'm going to say const tip, set tip, use state, and again 0. And then const people. We'll say set people. We'll say use state 0. Let me just follow the format. I'm going to say bill and set bill, just so that we're sort of keeping a consistent pattern. This is something that employers will also look for. If you're being consistent about the way you name things, if you're being concise, succinct, so you're not going on and on about the same thing over and over again. All right, so first things first, let's style up this box a little. So we'll say background color is going to be white and border radius, just a little bit of light styling. We'll go 0.5 rem. And I'm going to go ahead and set the background color of the entire page just so this actually stands out. I'm going to say body and HTML. Say background color is going to be that. We'll save that. Cool. So far, so good. So for the tip calculator, I should probably import it into the main component here. So we'll say tip calculator, so you can actually see it. Cool, there it is. Awesome, so we have that. I think what I'm going to do with this page, I'm going to turn this into a container. And then I'm going to say, oopsies, max width equals medium. Looks good. And that is definitely not the background color. It's probably closer to that. I'm not quite sure, but we'll leave it as it is for now. But yeah, definitely probably want to change that up. All right, so the next piece we want to do down here, so we have our tip calculator. We want to have some sort of input. So it's going to be two pieces. Typography element for the title, typography. So we'll say bill, and then we're going to probably do a text field from Material UI. Oh, and it's complaining because I didn't close it out, which is a fair complaint. All right, cool. Put that there. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Background color should be that. I'm not even seeing the background color, but we can deal with that in a second. So here for the bill now, what we want to do is, I think what I'll do is I'll wrap these in little forms. So I'll make forms. And I'm just using the regular form because I find it easier to work with, but if you want to use the material UI form, totally feel free to do that. And then I'll say on submit, I'm going to say set bill to, I think it's E, and pass in an E dot target dot, I think E dot target 0 dot value. I think that's the actual correct value, but I could be wrong. In fact, you know what? We're just going to console.log E. That's what we're going to do. Oh, and it does not like that. No? Okay, let's make a handler. Let's say const handle bill submit equals event type any. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fairly similar on console.log event. So we'll just say set or handle bill submit. Cool. So then now if I go to inspect, let's also give this a background color just so you can see it. Okay, good. Let's go to console. See if we say 100. Oh, and we're gonna have to prevent default. Prevent default. Oh, default. Okay. Say 100. Oh, let me refresh. All right. E dot target. Yeah, so it's gonna be the same 0 input value. Okay, so we want to set bill to event dot target dot target 0 dot value, and we want to actually cast it to a number because right now it's going to save it as a string, and that's going to give us a problem in a minute when we try to actually do some math with it. So that's going to be our handle bill submit. But what I'm actually thinking is we take in the event and we also take in the setter. I'm wondering if this is going to give me a little problem here. So we'll say handle bill submit, pass in E, and we pass in set bill. And then if I say setter, we call that, does the same thing happen? We'll say console.log bill. Right? Let's see if that works. Say 0. Awesome, says 100. Perfect, so that worked well. So now what we can do instead of handle bill submit, we'll just change to handle submit, and we can pass in, we can basically reuse this function for several different, like setting the bill, setting the tip, and setting the number of people. So basically we're reusing it, and it's going to be much more useful to us. So we have our first form where we set the bill. The next one we want to do is our tip. So we'll say select tip percentage. And we want to say, how should we do this? Probably can't use it for this one. We can use it for the for number of people though. We can definitely use it for that. We'll say number of people. We'll just skip over that one real quick. We'll say set people, and whatever the number of people is going to set it to the number of people. So that one we're good. The tip is going to be a little bit different. So for the tip, what we want to actually do is create 3 buttons. So I'm going to create another component. I'm going to say tip button, rather than creating like 4 of the same button. I'm just going to go ahead and create a button. Actually, I'm going to use the material UI buttons because I want to use the SX prop. We're going to say it's going to take in tip, and then it's going to return a typography element with the tip and a percentage. And it's probably also going to take in a set tip. Let's say tip, set tip. Save that. And then on click, it's going to set tip, right? Cool, there we go. And then for the tip calculator, sorry, we're gonna take in a tip button. Tip button, and actually what we're gonna do, we're gonna have const tip amounts. It's going to be an array, so we'll say 10, 15, and 25 for now. You can change this again, customize to whatever you want. And we'll say tip amounts, amounts dot map. We're just going to go ahead and return a tip button. And the key is going to be tip. And we'll pass in whatever else comes with the tip, which is really just a number. Okay, tip equals tip. And then the on click? Set tip, sorry. Set tip is going to be set tip. Cool, and that should be good. Actually, it's not. Yeah, that's going to be set tip. So on click, it's going to set the tip to be whatever that number is, and then we want to handle submit. We want to handle tip. Handle tip. I'm just going to pass in. On click, we just want to call handle tip. And we haven't made it yet, so it's going to give us an error, but we'll create it. We'll say handle tip. And what that is going to do, because that's going to set the tip. How do we go on? I feel like this should have like a calculate button somewhere. Or maybe it's when you select the tip that it does the calculation. We kind of play around with the logic here. But handle tip, what it's going to do is going to take, this is our like major, we'll call this actually calculate tip. Oops. Yeah, calculate tip. And we're going to say, it's going to take the, bill. It's going to take the bill and then multiply the bill by the tip divided by 100. Const tip amount. And then the total per person. Oh, tip amount per person. Sorry, so the bill multiplied by the tip divided by 100, which is going to be like the percentage, then all of that is then divided by the number of people. So tip per person, and then const, this actually, I might have to just set these up higher. Tip per person, and that's going to be the bill per person. And that's going to be bill divided by people plus the tip per person. All right? And that should be it. Yeah, I think that's it. So really, does calculate tip need to do anything? Oh no. Let's see. If I move these out of here, and then I create another box here, and then I create a second box. It's going to be that right-hand side. Let me say, tip amount. It's going to be tip per person. And then we'll do total. Bill per person. Try that. Okay, and it's going to give us not a number, not a number. I could also do it as a setter. We could say const tip per person, set tip per person, use state, 0, const bill per person, set bill per person, use state, 0, and then move these back in here, and then we'll say set tip per person to be this. I'll say set bill per person to be that. Let's see if that works. Okay, not bad. Logic-wise, design-wise, not great. So we put the bill in as 100. We put the number of people as 5, and then we select the tip, 25%. Okay, so that's not changing it. I'll say console.log bill per person, tip per person. Just want to make sure everything is actually being targeted. Okay, so now something is missing. Oh, you know what? It might be. Let me change the style so we can see this. I think that's what's causing. Yeah. So, okay. So we'll say 100. We'll say 5 people, 25% tip. On click, something should happen. So let's see where we're missing it. Tip button, set tip, tip button, set tip to be tip, console.log tip. Okay, that's working. Set tip, set tip. Bill, so let's Bill, tip, and people. Bill, tip, people. Save that, and we'll see if they get set. So we'll say 100, 5, and 25. Okay, so when I hit 25, the tip was set. Oh, you know what it is? I should do it on change. That's the difference. So it's not on submit, it's on change. Ooh, I wonder if that's gonna work. So if I refresh at 100, let's console.log event, get rid of all these console logs. On submit e.target 0.value of undefined reading value. Oh, it's probably mad about this. If I take this out and I do the same thing here. See if that works. Cannot read properties of undefined reading value on 19. But that's interesting because it's showing up e.target. Oh, it's just e.target.value. Say 100. Oh, let's try it again. 100. Let me say the console log. 199. E.target.value. Oh, okay. So we don't need that 0 anymore. I was reading the wrong console log. 100. E.target.value. Okay, which is what we're used to. All right, so we'll do that. So e.target.value. And that should work. So then on change, or maybe it should just change. Yeah, maybe it should just calculate tip every time. I think that might be better actually. So we'll say calculate tip, right? Because it doesn't take anything. I wonder if it's gonna screw it up though. Say 100. Oh yeah, it's gonna give us not a number. All right, so yeah, that's gonna screw it up. Yeah, so let's leave it as it is. So we'll say, I think I want to put a calculate button though. So we'll say 100, 25, 23. Still not calculating. Let's undo these. Say 100. All right. Let's say 25. Cool. 25, 15, 100. All right, cool. So we're getting 25 through 28. So these three are set. But then it's not setting. Oh, it's on submit. That's the issue. Okay. So it can't be on submit. It's got to be set tip and calculate tip. Cool. So then 100, 199, 22 people. Okay, so now we get the total Why don't we get the tip amount? Probably just did something wrong in the calculation. Oh, sorry, no, that's a tip per person. I'm seeing there. We're not getting the bill per person. Bill divided by the people. Oops. Plus the tip per person. Ah, but if the tip per person, no, the tip per person should be. What if I do this? What if that will give it to me? 100, 12, 25. Interesting, we're still not getting the tip amount. We're setting the tip per person. Okay, what if I set the tip per person? We're not getting the bill amount. So if I set bill per person to 5, just arbitrarily set it to 5. I want to see if it's the set, like where the issue is. Interesting. Okay, bill per person is being set. It's tip per person. All right, we can get rid of these 3. We know they're working. We can actually wrap these in an object so that it gives it a title. All right, we'll say 100, 22, 25%. Okay, now we're getting it. I don't know what was going on there, but we're getting it now. All right, cool. So we're getting the right numbers. We're good to go. I think what we want to do with these, we want to say tip per person dot, what is it, to fixed, is it? I think that's what we want to do. Yeah, so it's just to a decimal place. To fixed, to decimal place, and then we'll throw in a $sign in the front of that there. Good. All right, so yeah, if we had a $100 bill, $100 4 people, and we had a 10% tip. Oh, okay. It's waiting for the enter to be hit for us to actually, that's the difference. All right, all right. Maybe I'll wrap the whole thing in a singular form. That might make the most sense. We'll have a button. So button. I'm going to say on submit. Calculate tip. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better than the system we have right now. All right, so go 12, 10, 1. Okay. I think we just need to do a event dot prevent default. But other than that, that looks pretty good. Let's try it again. Do 100, 10% tip, 2 people. Awesome. That seems to be working. So the logic on that one is good. So we can get rid of all these console logs, and now we can just focus on the styling. And we managed to do it all in one component. Not too bad. All right, so for the styles now, let's close this out. Let's take a look at the design again. I think actually what I might do here is grab this color. Let's see what color that is. Okay. that's going to be the background color of the page. That is a background color? All right, it just looks a lot darker. It looks a lot more prominent there. And then I'm not getting a background color on this box at all. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Okay, well that background color is showing up. Oh, you know what it is? It's because it's in quotes. That's what it is. There we go. I was like, that doesn't look right. All right, cool. So we have that. Let's look at the padding. 45-ish. 2 rem. Let's say 2 rem. Save that. We'll say display flex. Good. And then let's style this. So we have that as a background color. We'll say border none. Border transparent. Border 0 pixels. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Or we could do 0 pixel solid white. Or maybe 1 pixel solid white. Oh, weird. It's not even targeted. All right, I'll just leave that alone. I think we probably want to set the size of the box. So we'll say height, 30 view height, maybe 40 view height. Good. And then with this, we'll say, whoops, display flex. We'll say flex direction column. And we'll say justify content will be space between. Oh, I'm silly. I need to set that on the form. I'm wondering why nothing's taking effect. That's why. All right, so we have that there. Wrap this in a box. Good. And actually, we don't really need this first box. Oh, weird. Okay. Good. And we'll say, for the second box, it's gonna be this. Interesting. Not sure why that's not setting. Oh, there we go. Okay, just needed to refresh. Color for this, white. And then the color for that is going to be this. Oops. And the size is going to be 48. Or is it theorem? Theorem. Font weight. Let's try 800. Borrow that for this. Good. Let's give it some padding. Good. And the border radius. Good. And then cool, pretty good. What else do we need? I think we could do a little styling with the buttons. Oh, and then we also want a reset button, which is the last piece of functionality we could add. We'll say button. Okay. Good. Good. Spread that out a little bit. And then when we click reset, we want it to, we want everything to go back to 0. So on click. Reset, and we'll create a function, const reset. I'm just going to go ahead and set everything. Set bill 0, set tip 0, set people 0, oops, 0, set bill per person 0, set tip per person 0. And that's what reset's going to do. It's going to reset everything. Oh, and then we have these buttons, which are going to be that's going to be the background color. We'll say padding. We'll say display flex, space between function, justify content, space between. And then flex 3, good. And then background color will be this. Okay. Okay. Good, 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 good. And actually one more thing I could do to even be more specific, I could say tip, set tip, selected tip is gonna be, oh, that's so confusing. I'm just here making things confusing. All right, selected tip is gonna be tip. Let's say selected tip. We'll say selected tip equals tip. If yes, you do this color. If no, do that color. Selected tip equals tip. If yes, do this color. If no, do that color. All right, so that if I go here, perfect. That's what I want to see. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What else can we do here? Let's go ahead and good, okay. And then, oh, we also grabbed the logo, so we can probably put that in here. We'll say image from next image. Okay, there it is. Height is 56. That's 86. Cool. No, didn't think that would work. All right, so we'll do. Perfect. Good. Oh, and we should probably do something with that calculate button as well. Probably should have just made one button. Actually, no, I'm going to do the opposite colors. probably white. Yeah, that looks better. Cool. I think that's pretty much it. We can say if the bill is $200, and the tip is 25%, and we're splitting it between 4 people, and we calculate. The tip's amount is going to be $12.50 per person. Total is going to be $62.50, sorry, which makes sense because it's going to be $50 per person plus the tip amount. We can just drop in something like, I'm noticing it doesn't say per person, so we can say drop in something like per person, and use, oh, we can just, they just did slash person. You can do slash person. Awesome. And then if we hit reset, it resets all of it. And I guess on click, I'm wondering if I can set the values there as well. On change value equals people. $200, 25%. Okay, yeah, that's what we want to do. So we'll say value equals people, and we'll say, oops, value equals bill, and then we'll say set selected tip. Oh no, selected tip will be 0. So bill 100, tip 10%, number of people 4, calculate, and then reset. Perfect. All right, awesome. So I think we're pretty much set here. It looks pretty good to me. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this challenge, please leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. And if you want to see the rest of the videos in this challenge, check out this playlist up here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.